Hi everyone. In this short video, I'm just going to show you how to email some images from our Lily of the Valley Digi stamps to your iPhone or your iPad so that you can edit them and print them and resize them and everything in the Pages app. Obviously, first to begin with, you need the Pages app on your phone or iPad. It's an Apple app and you can download it for free from the App Store. Just search for Pages if you don't already have it and just download it from there. I am assuming in this video that you already know how to email yourself images, as in to attach them into an email and send them to yourself. If you don't and you want me to make a video showing you how to do that, do leave a comment below and I will try and get round to it as soon as I can. But for the purposes of this one, I'm going to assume you know how to do that, and I will show you how to save them from an email onto your iPad or your iPhone. The process is exactly the same whether you're using an iPhone or an iPad. I'm just using my iPad because it's bigger and it's easier to see on screen. So to begin with, you need to open your emails and save the images onto your device. So once you've opened your email, the way you do it, you just touch and hold the image until the menu pops up, and you can either choose Save Image, which saves it to your photos, or Save to Files, which saves them in different files on your device, which makes them a little bit more organized and easier to find, but either way works on Pages. So I'm going to save them to files, so I'm just going to choose that. And then it comes up and it gives me a list of options of where I want to save them. If I want to make another file, I can choose the plus file up there and make my own file and save it in there. I can also choose to save it to my iCloud Drive or to my iPad or iPhone, which I'm going to do here. So on my iPad, if you look down, I've selected the Pages files because I'm using Pages. So I just thought if I save them in there, it's easier. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to choose Save. This has popped up saying replace existing items simply because I've done it a few times before, so they were already in there. It won't come up for you, but I'm just going to have to choose replace. But just pretend that doesn't happen because you won't get that when you're only saving it once. And then I'm going to do it again for my image. As you saw there, it downloaded as it came in. If it doesn't download automatically, if you just click on the little icon for the download, that should make it work. So again, I'm going to choose Save to Files. I'm going to choose Pages and Save, Replace. And that's it then. That is all done, fine, saved. I don't need to worry about it. And the images are now basically saved on my device and ready to use on Pages. So what I need to do next is come out of there and go into my Pages app. So I'm just going to click on it to open it. I'm not sure where it opens the very first time you get it, so I will show you this screen, which is the different options to make things. If it actually does open already in one, which I'll just open here, close that down. I'll go back actually and show you to create a document. So what you need to make is basically an A4 piece of paper if you're going to print out an A4, which I'm assuming that most of you will do. So if you choose Create Document and then choose Basic and Blank, you can choose Blank Landscape or Portrait. It doesn't really matter. Close that down. This is your blank screen. If I zoom out, you can see the grey bits are obviously the borders, and that's the top and the bottom. You can also use it in portrait mode, which makes it easier to see, but for ease of filming, I'm doing it landscape. Now, firstly, I want to just set my document up so that I want to make sure it's A4. So if I check the circle here with the three little dots and go to Document Setup there, I can see that A4 is the thing that is ticked. So that is already set to A4. Now, Pages is quite good because it can work as either a word processing document, like Word or something like that, where you can type text and insert photos into the text. But it can also work as a desktop publishing package, which works more like your page is a canvas and you add text boxes or images, which are then really easy to move around. And that's what we want it to do for the ease of resizing the Digi stamps. You achieve this by turning off the document body switch. It asks you just to confirm it, click convert, and you now have, when you touch off there, a page that works just like a canvas. You can imagine this is a piece of paper, and everything you bring in, you can just move around and edit as you like. So now I want to add the images to this page, so I'm going to use the plus sign up there. I'm going to say insert from files. If you had saved them to your photos, you do insert from photo or video, but because I chose the files, I'm going to click on this little file app here. And then it says on my iPad, so that's okay, because if it didn't, I would have to choose it, because I can choose iCloud Drive on my iPad or whatever. So if you need to double check, just go backwards and backwards till you end up to this and choose on my iPad. I've then got a Pages folder, and you can see I've got the image and the sentiment that I just saved from my email. So I'm going to choose my image and bring that in, which is now on my page, and I can move it around. Then I'm going to choose add again, insert from, and choose my sentiment, which when it comes in, don't panic and think, oh, my picture's gone. It's just sitting underneath. To make them smaller, there are these little blue dots that go the whole way around the edge. Any one of these, don't worry, it only ever scales up and down proportionately. You can't make it too thin or too wide or anything like that. And as you can see, you put your finger on it and basically move it up or down to enlarge or decrease it. And if you can see the little black box, it also tells you exactly the size of the image, so you know when you print it out how big it's going to be. So pop that over there. I will make my image smaller. Normal Lily of the Valley stamps are usually, if you want to kind of print them out, normal stamp size, between 9 and 10 centimetres sort of long and 6 and 7 centimetres high. So that's about right. And then I'm going to move it further up to the top of the page. And my sentiment is still a little bit too big, so I'm going to put that there. This time it's okay because my sentiment is sitting on top of my image, but I'll show you how you can change the order of them in case you want something to sit over the top of another thing. So I will bring my image on top of my sentiment, which isn't what I want to do, but for the purpose of an example, I will do it. When you want to edit anything like an image or anything on your page, you need to select it. Then you need to choose the little paintbrush icon at the top. And you have different options. There's style, which is what the image itself looks like. And there's arrange, which is what your image does on the page. Now, up here, you can see move to back or front, which is selected. If I just move this along, I can either slide the slider up and down, or I can click one way to another. If you've got quite a few images on there, it's easier to move your slider because you will have different options to move. You can see that now my image has gone in front of my sentiment. So I'll do that again to put my image back behind my sentiment. So I click on the paintbrush, I make sure it's in arrange, and then I choose move back or front there. And you can see my image is now back behind my sentiment again. Just for ease of moving around, just make sure when you want to move things, if you're thinking, oh, it's not moving, my rabbit's not moving, click on it first and make sure the rabbits have the blue dots around them. Once they've got the blue dots around them, that's when you can move them. If you want to move two items at once, that you might think, I really like how I've laid that out and I just want to move it further down the page, you can either, if you click there, you can see up here, you can cut, copy, delete. You can also select objects there. Now, I don't know if it's different on an iPad to an iPhone because I don't have this option on my iPhone, but I do on my iPad. If you do, if you choose select objects, you can just keep clicking and then your objects will move together. They don't stay grouped. If you click off it, oh, I just need to just do that and click done. Once I click off, they are then back to being single again. If you don't have the option to select objects when you are, when the little bar comes up, I will show you the other way that you do it. It's really simple. You simply put your finger on one of the images and then touch another one, and they're both selected. So I'll do that again. Touch one, touch another, and they're both selected. It is a little bit fiddly, but it does work most of the time. That's it. So it's there. Again, touch that one, touch that one. It seems to work better sometimes if you touch. If it doesn't work with one, try touching another one and swap them around. But there you can see that they are selected. So that is the slightly more fiddly way, but it does work. Right, so I'll now show you how you can rotate or mirror your images. I'll just make this one a little bit bigger again, just so it's easy to see. So whenever you want to edit your image, again, touch your paintbrush there. And this time, oh yeah, no, we still want to be on arrange, because arrange is what we do on the page. So you can see you can flip it horizontally or flip it vertically or rotate it. So if I was going to flip it horizontally, I will click that and it's mirrored it horizontally like that. If I want to choose my image, if I want to flip it vertically, I'll do that, and you can see it's turned it upside down. If you click this like I did just then and you think, why is the image details not coming up? It's because I didn't have my image selected. So make sure your image is selected before you click your brush. So I will just put that back to there, and I will show you how you rotate it. Again, select your image, select the paintbrush, and then click on rotate. There are two ways you can do it. If you have the little arrow showing, you can basically manually slide this around in a circle, and you can see that your image will rotate around. If you want to be absolutely exact with the degree of rotation, if you click the little hashtag, you can then type in on your keyboard, say 90 degrees. You want it to be 90 degrees. Press return and you can see it's rotated by 90 degrees. So that's how you do that. I'll tell you what, while I'm here, I will show you. If you decide you want to undo something and you think, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. If you use 3 fingers, touch the screen and swipe to the left, which again is slightly fiddly, but it does work eventually. It undoes it. And you can keep on doing this. Sorry. It does work, but it's not something that I'm absolutely brilliant at, but it does work. There, backwards, upside down. Once you get the knack of it, it does work, but it does take a little bit of getting used to. There, and so on. If you decide, actually, no, I do want to do what I've just done, and you want to redo what you've just undone, if you swipe to the right, you'll see it then redoes what you do, and you can keep on going there and doing it over and over. But I won't push my luck, because it's not the thing that I'm the greatest at, but that is me and my fingers for some reason. It does actually work. So now I'm gonna put my image at the top of my page with my sentiment there, and I'm gonna think, right, okay, I want those two and I want them both up there. I might then decide I want to copy them and then paste them. So then I can have 2 of those on my page so that I'm not going to waste paper. And you can do that as many times as you like. You might think this time I only want the rabbits and I don't want the sentiment. So wait, if you just touch it, your little black bar comes up. You can press delete and your sentiment will disappear. But so that is all that. I will also show you with an image. I'll make this one big again so that you can see what I'm doing. In the editing options, so again, the paintbrush, if I go to style, now this is more about the image. I can choose to turn a border on or a shadow on. You can see it adds like a little curled page border. And there are different things you can do with that. Or that is a reflection, if you can see. It adds a bit of a reflection underneath I do see the point of it, but I'm not really sure. So I don't often use it. But the thing that is really handy in this is this opacity slider here, which basically makes the image paler or stronger as you slide it left or right, which is really good if you want to print out your image quite pale so that you can colour it in and get the kind of no line effect if you use pencils or things like that. So again, you can adjust your opacity to suit you before you print it out. I'll leave it at full darkness just because it's easier to see. And then all you basically need to do is print it out. So if you're happy with it here, this is your A4 piece of paper. This is where it's going to print out. To print it out, all you do is go to the circle with the 3 dots in at the top again, where you adjusted your document at the beginning, and you just choose print there. You do need an air printer to do it, unless you have a adapter cable that you can use to plug into your lightning thing and then stick a USB in. But if you have an air printer, which I'm presuming a lot of you, if you do use your phones and iPads for things like this, you do have an air printer. Basically, your printer comes up there, and this is your whole print preview, so you can see exactly what you've made and where you've made it and what it's going to look like when you print out. And then to finish off, you simply press print up there. I won't do it, obviously, because you can't see the printer, so there is no point, but that is what you do. And that is how you resize and rotate and add images to pages. I am hopefully gonna do a few more videos in the next few days, which will show you how to do slightly more complicated and more interesting things with our Digi stamps too. So hopefully you have found this useful and not too waffly, and I will see you very soon. Thank you.